It is the 20th of October 2025. Very good afternoon. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda, and welcome to the UBC Weekend Edition with me, Sharon Kyomugisha. In the course of the week, President Museveni reiterated his commitment to support the agenda of the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to strengthen the capacity of African health institutions to deal with disease threats. Now, the president made the commitment while meeting a delegation from the Africa CDC led by the Director General, Dr. KCA, at State House in Entebbe. During the meeting, President Museveni and the delegation discussed matters including strengthening local medicine manufacturing in Africa, strengthening the African laboratory hub system, and strengthening the community health workforce. Take a look.
Medicine, we are moving very well. So I'm very happy with your plan. The plan of, that was our, we have been struggling with that for a long time. One of our oldest factories, the quality chemicals, they have been struggling to sell to Zambia, to sell to even East Africa. So your plan would work very well, would help us to off-take. The off-take would stimulate production. In Africa, all over the place, during the time of Amin, when there was insecurity, many professionals left, but others have come up.
And to thank you for creating the African CDC as a coordinating body for fighting diseases within Africa. The African CDC is doing very well. Jean KCA felt it very important to come and appreciate you for creating the African CDC, but also discuss with you what the African CDC is doing in the region, coordinating health.
It's with great pleasure that I come here, seeing my father, getting blessing also. I can apologize for my predecessor who didn't come, but we have to come to Uganda regularly for many reasons. One of the reasons is your knowledge of the continent. I met so many of your colleagues, but I can say it's one of my first time to hear about this kind of knowledge. Having this knowledge, it means you know also the context of your continent. But you decided, and Excellency, I have some record also from you when you said we need to have an African-led public health organization because mostly we're depending on external organizations, external partners. Under your leadership, His Excellency, we really want to engage you for more autonomy of Africa CDC because we are dealing with outbreaks. As you know, there are outbreaks that can kill so many people at the same time.
President Museveni has commended the permanent secretaries for aligning with the National Resistance Movement's vision of socio-economic transformation. The president made the remarks while meeting permanent secretaries at State House in Entebbe. The president made the remarks, of course, and after meeting secretaries from government ministries who were led by the head of public service and secretary of cabinet, Lucy Nachobe.
During the meeting with permanent secretaries from various ministries at State House in Entebbe, President Museveni informed them that Uganda's economy has been able to grow progressively due to the correct ideology of the NRM government. The president also pledged to continue supporting the permanent secretaries to execute their supervision role as stipulated by Article 174 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda.
Our 10 points program, one of the points was saying that for Uganda, for NRM, we are going to use the strategy of mixed economy. We may have some parastatals, but the main economy will be in private hands. So we moved from those mistakes of Obote and we gave the economy to the population. And that's why it is growing, in spite of all the problems. So this was strategy number one.
The president, however, cautioned them against corruption. On the other hand, he was shocked to learn about the abuse of government salary enhancement strategy by scientists who are now rushing to apply for early retirement in order to benefit from the enhanced retirement package. The Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury, Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Ramadan Gobi, who represented the Forum of Permanent Secretaries, commended President Museveni's leadership, which he is offering to the country and the region. He also pledged that, as permanent secretaries, they are right behind the president in the fight against corruption. He further highlighted the various issues affecting wealth creation, development and service delivery.
The current procurement system, Your Excellency, is riddled with the several avenues for corruption, which makes government lose huge sums of money, well knowing that most of our work is done through procurement. And the PSs are recommending that time has come to have a lean and more functional procurement system so that we can be able to save money, government money, but also do work efficiently. The second issue is concerning the direct supervision of government agencies, parastatals and authorities by ministers without involvement of the PSs. Your Excellency, the laws creating most of the government agencies were made in such a way that these agencies are supervised directly by the line ministers, who are also responsible for the appointment of the board members. This arrangement makes it difficult for PSs to supervise the chief executive officers of these agencies.
Maureen Babidie for UBC News.
President Yoweri Museveni has fulfilled the pledge of 20 billion Ugandan shillings to the Teachers Circle he made during celebrations to mark the World Teachers' Day in 2023. While officiating at this year's World Teachers' Day at Lugogo Cricket Oval Grounds, President Museveni, as far as salary enhancement is concerned, he says that government is taking a strategy to prioritize in the context of scarcity.
Inspire learners to aspire before they expire, breaking barriers for young minds to unfold.
President Yoweri Museveni has said the country is having a problem of dealing with recovery of the economy, mass education, mass vaccination, security, which all require money. He, however, urged teachers to understand the context of starting with something that will help the country reach higher levels. He emphasized that government targets to pay all public servants and increase their numbers, citing the need to recruit 300,000 teachers because the current teacher-to-pupil ratio stands at 1 to 50.
So you can see we need more teachers. But now we are not able to hire them. But where we are going as the economy is growing, and if we all act together instead of empaka, instead of arguments and then struggles, because when I put my foot down and I said we should start with the scientists. I'm a person of social science. This is the strategy of Oksoso Waza to prioritize in order in the context of scarcity. So
the Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, said teachers receiving pay yet they are present in school but absent in class is a hard issue that needs to be corrected by the teachers conscious as policymakers do what it takes to improve the outward form of the teaching profession.
The unwritten social contract that society has with the teachers cannot be satisfied by mere policy interventions, such as improving teachers' welfare and compensation. The unwritten expectation society has of the teacher can only be fulfilled when the teacher responds to his or her inner voice of conscience that compels us to choose between right and wrong, good and evil, light and darkness. And as the government has demonstrated, the pay for its teachers shall be improved in a phased manner as resources become more available.
The President Liberal Teachers Union, Matisasra Evans, expressed the importance to acknowledge the challenges met by teachers in private schools, urging government to establish guidelines and standards for the operations. He appreciated the President for fulfilling the pledge of 20 billion shillings to the Teachers Circle.
Science teachers we need to take note that there shouldn't be any form of stigma on the pay enhancement for the science teachers, because that's the way to go to bring about development in the country. Additionally, I would like to express our deep gratitude to Your Excellency for fulfilling your pledge of Uganda shillings 20 billion towards the national teachers' circles that you pledged during the last World Teachers' Day on the 5th of October 2023.
He also said salary harmonization remains a critical issue that needs to be considered because educators must feel valued and motivated. The leadership of teachers also appreciate government to the curriculum reforms, especially the new lower secondary curriculum, but urge fellow teachers to move up with a standard to have it realized to have value in education.
We therefore appeal to the government promptly introduce new advanced level competence-based curriculum to prevent the creation of an academic vacuum, especially where the current senior 4 candidates will be left without a clear academic pathway as they join the higher level of education, HSC.
I'm Nafka Farida and then Mugima in Kampala.
The Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises has faulted both government and Kampala Capital City Authority for poor waste management leading to loss of lives and property. A report of COSASE presented to Parliament by Chairperson Medad Segona gives evidence of negligence, faulting stakeholders including government, Minister for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs and the former Executive Director for KCA, Dorothy Chisaka. The report identifies how the authorities failed to execute a Presidential Executive Order number 2 of 23, calling for all urban authorities west to be properly disposed of and processed to waste disposal sites.
The Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, COSASE, on Thursday presented a report on the Auditor General's report on financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2023. The report looks at a number of entities including Kampala Capital City Authority and National Environmental Management Authority, among others. The report, presented by the chairperson of COSASE, Medad Segona, was inevitable to exclude the history which led to the loss of lives after the Chitezi landfill collapsed, leaving 53 people dead, 28 missing and 18 injured. Segona claims that the authorities were fully aware of the possible outcomes from the Chitezi landfill after several investigations and alerts. COSASE report exposes a Presidential Executive Order on the management of waste in urban and city centre dated 9th April 2023, which was left hanging by the relevant authorities. The report highlights that the former ED of KCCA, Dorothy Chisaka, initiated the implementation of the Presidential Executive Order, but in vain. Chisaka, in her letter dated 20th June 2023, asked that 36.6 billion be allocated for the decommissioning process of Chitezi, but the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development turned a deaf ear. COSASE report faults the Minister for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs and the Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury for keeping silent on Chisaka's cries.
The Minister for Kampala who was copied in the same letter, took no action, not even a visit to the facility to ascertain its state. She never raised the matter in cabinet and never followed up with the Minister of Finance.
This is the reason why COSASE wants both Minister for Kampala and PSST be held responsible.
The Minister and the PSST cannot escape liability for what befell the country.
After the failed attempt, the Director of Public Health and Environment at KCCA, Daniel Ayen Okello, on 2nd July 2024, notified the former KCCA Executive Director about the sorry state of Chite's landfill, indicating possible dangers after identifying cracks and blockage of drainage. The then KCCA ED Dorothy Chisaka also went silent despite the alerts from Dr. Okello. COSASE wants Chisaka to be held responsible for this move.
Prudence would have required the authority to immediately halt the activities at Chitezi, having obtained expert guidance from its own expert. At this point, the executive director and her deputy, who received the memo, kept it to themselves. There is no evidence that it was brought to the attention of the authority or government.
The COSASE report also exposes how lack of transparency contributed to a failed attempt to identify a possible investor to execute modern waste management. The process turned out to be a blame game, with the former ED blaming the KCCA technical team that decided to operate behind doors.
Whereas the accounting office explained that a prospective investor was found, no concrete steps were taken to seal the discussion to a logical conclusion. Indeed, there was no public search for potential investors.
With this directive now, Jasponga has to vacate immediately. So they have to get out of that place because they are there illegally. And we hope the Ministry of Kampala will abide by this directive, comply and implement it. Action should be taken. The ministers for Kampala have been cited in the report. The PSST, Mr. Ramadhan Gobi, has also been mentioned, and a couple of others.
The report further brings out how the 135-acre land in Dundu Mukono district was wrongly acquired after the committee found out that the land is not strategic enough to accommodate waste management.
The nature of land in Dundu, earmarked for establishment of a waste-to-energy modern facility, is situated in the residential area and snakes around in a meandering river-like manner. The nature of this land could not and cannot accommodate a landfill in the traditional sense without causing hazardous inconvenience to and endangering the residents' public health.
Medad Segona points out a number of recommendations, including reviving the presidential executive order, closing of all landfills in Kampala metropolitan area within 2 years, and channeling waste to a modern landfill. And no dumping should be allowed at Dundu Mukono district, among others. The COSASE report is not far away different from a previous report by the Inspector General of Government, which faulted the former ED Dorothy Chisaka for the mismanagement of waste in Kampala. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
The Prime Minister during the week, Robna Nabanja, directed the Ministry of Energy to adhere to the Presidential Directive of providing electricity to all industrialists at only 5 US cents. This follows concerns of the high cost of power in Uganda Mbara Industrial Park, which is causing the cost of production to become high.
It is the government of Uganda's policy to build industrial parks in all regions of Uganda, and Uganda Mbara Industrial Park is one among those the government has set up across the country. Currently, Uganda Mbara Industrial Park has already created over 6,000 jobs to the youth, manufacturing a range of products that include TV sets, mobile phones, textiles, steel products, mattresses, among many other products, pure made in Uganda, in line with the Buy Uganda, Build Uganda, Bubu policy. The Prime Minister during the week, Robna Nabanja, directed the Ministry of Energy to adhere to the Presidential Directive of providing electricity to all industrialists at only 5 US cents. This follows concerns of the high cost of power in Uganda Mbara Industrial Park, which is causing the cost of production to become high.
Who was copied in the same letter took no action,
The Prime Minister Robin Anabanja first toured several factories in the park and launched 2 factories in the park.
You can imagine where Uganda has reached. We are making a glass from here, made in Uganda. Made in Uganda, by Uganda. For God and my country, I now take the honor on behalf of the President to officially launch and commission the glass factory in Mbara.
The Premier, who represented the President at the closure of the trade fair in Mbara, directed the Minister of Energy to adhere to the presidential directive of providing electricity to all industrialists at only 5 US cents.
I take note of all your problems, the issues that are here, the cost of power, the power which is not enough, and the power will reduce to 5 cents. I promise it will reduce. Because the President directed me and the Ministry of Energy that we have this power reduced to 5 cents. The technical people are bringing in their technical jargon that extra large industries now may. We are not going to allow that, I promise you.
Currently, the big industrialists buy electricity at 9.7 US cents, which according to them makes the cost of production very high.
Power, power, and power. 5 cents, 5 cents, and 5 cents. Unstable power, and enough power. I believe after 3 months.
I want to request Ugandans to buy Uganda to build Uganda. Boo-boo. We must buy our products. These are made in Uganda. But I also request that in order for you to market your products, don't get shy to put the word Uganda. You should put the word Uganda so that we market our products. We market Uganda also.
The Prime Minister also promised the investors in Sino-Uganda Mbara Industrial Park that the government will provide a power line from Karuma Dam.
There is a designated line for Sino-Mbara Industrial Park. Designated. And the power will reduce.
And the President had promised that they should be given an alternative line, and those people also left the Mbara Industrial Park. And hence, we now have 51 factories, and right honorable Prime Minister, please do report to the President that Muwenda Paul has committed to bring more investors from China, and he wants to build 100 factories in Mbara Industrial Park.
The chairman of Sino-Uganda Mbara Industrial Park, Paul Zhang, commended the President and the Prime Minister Nabanja for being down to earth and the support always rendered to investors.
Enter any factory, for our children. Oh, Mama, come in. People love her. Even me today, I changed my mind because I want to build another factory in other country. Since from today, I changed.
Paul Zhang extended the trade fair for another 1 day to allow the locals in Mbara and staff to buy products at the factory price. Zhang also donated 1,000 mattresses to the communities in Mbara.
Open this textile industry.
Thank you.
The campaigns for the Koro District Woman Member of Parliament sit in heating up as the National Resistance Movement Party's primaries commence. Following a meeting with President Museveni on October 14, 2024, candidates are now actively engaged in their campaigns. Take a look.
The National Resistance Movement has set October 25th for selecting its flag bearer, while the Electoral Commission has scheduled the election for November 14th in the Koro by-elections. This vacancy arose after the passing of Nyirabashitsi, the State Minister for Defense and Veteran Affairs, on September 7th, 2024. The candidates in the race include former Member of Parliament Rose Kabageni, Grace Akifeza, Irene Mahire, Winfred Graneza, Jemima Irankunda, Fancy Nirere, and Helen Mbonye. During a recent rally in Kuringo, Grace Akifeza raised concerns about wildlife poaching in Windi area, emphasizing the need for community advocacy for animal rights. She also pledged to construct a road through Windi National Park to Kanungu.
Sasa nenangu emihanda yitu etwireho etari mirungi ndenda kwatanisa n'abayobozi bariho batwire barakora turebe ngo muhanda gwitu twagutamuka itamaka okuruga Kisoro burija kunuya.
Rose Kabagenyi promised to complete the prior projects, while Jemima Irankunda, the youngest candidate, urged voters to reject bribery.
Ariko ni mudushigikira tuzareka Kisoro ngo n'ubu imyaka 24 yakora gusumba imyaka 80.
Helen Mbonye also committed to road construction.
Muronde mukwetegereza murebeje murebera kumanya obusasi bwanyu ninyo kumanya obusasi bwitu ninyo kumanya ng'emondi zitu nibiza batudondora ninyo kumanya ngu nitwetaga tuwarisi ahabokuba etauni yitu yahinduka site batuwarisi mbaza kweyongera ahabokuba emihanda meza kolwa.
All candidates are actively seeking for community support, with Grace focusing on agriculture and education, and Jemima prioritizing wetland restoration.
State Minister for Local Government Businge Victoria Rusoke has challenged urban authorities to prioritize and implement to the latter their physical planning policies. Rusoke says that the illegal structures continue to be constructed in most urban areas and urban authorities while leaders are looking on. She was officiating the 55th Annual General Assembly of Urban Authorities Association of Uganda that was held in KCA Municipality.
State Minister for Local Government Businge Victoria Rusoke has stressed the need for those handling public resources to be patriotic. She challenged the urban authority managers to aim high, set standards, and to join the fight against corruption.
Be corrupt-free to your association, the places you are leading, and to the country. Aim high, set standards. Who is going to set standards for you? What do you want your state to look like? For sure, we are not at the same level.
She challenged urban authorities, leaders and managers to learn from one another, since their level of innovativeness, planning and revenue collection is not the same.
And you institutions know each other like the palm of your hand. You know who is dragging, you know who is crawling, you know who is fast, you know who is active. Utilize one another. Pull your friends out of trouble by mentoring them.
She encouraged them to promote good accountability principles to be efficient and to ensure quality service delivery to the citizens.
An urban area which is not attracting revenue is not worth calling a municipality, a town council, a city.
The State Minister for ICT, Godfrey Kabyanga, challenged urban authorities and leaders to strive to leave a legacy by ensuring proper and planned urbanization.
A mayor must leave what? Legacy. You are not LOC5 chairman. You are mayors.
The president of the Urban Authorities Association of Uganda, Wilson Sanya, reminded government to avail a complete road equipment unit to the newly created cities and municipalities. He also decried the low staffing levels of most urban authorities, which he said affects proper service delivery.
We propose that at least each of the 10 cities get a full set of road equipment, and each of the 31 municipalities get a motor grader, roller, and 5 tipper lorries. Each town council a tractor to assist in garbage collection.
The National Environment Management Authority has warned against interfering the lawfully operation against noise pollution, and this follows an encounter where one of the tails of staff confronted NEMA enforcement team and blocked the operation.
National Environment Management Authority has been carrying out routine operations against noise pollution in Kampala metropolitan area. The two-day operation, informed by complaints from the general public, were carried out after issuance of prior notices which were never honored by the responsible parties. The operation against noise pollution was concluded in the areas of Kansanga, Wandegea, Chisasi and Weyogerere, where several sound systems were seized in different entertainment places following public complaints.
Appeal to all Ugandans to desist from creating noise.
Before the operation, the bars in question were issued with the prior warnings over their actions. In Kansanga, loud sound systems were seized from the famous Makutano Bar, MBY Restaurant and Lounge, African Tribe Hotel, which is managed by the Litrians. In Wandegea, music systems, mainly loudspeakers, were seized from individuals who had been reported over their actions. NEMA officials, however, faced resistance in some bars like Tales, where staff involved in confrontation with the enforcement team and also went ahead to block the operation. One of the caretakers of Tales Bar, who had tried to fight the enforcement police, was arrested and taken to CPS.
The one heading you don't grab things when they are not talking. You get it? When they are talking, that's when you grab. I'm not protecting anyone.
Guard against creating noise. Even those the bars, the churches, please guard against making noise. It's against the National Environment Act, CAP 181.
The operation proceeded to Weyogerere, where some bars said to be involved in noise pollution were not spared. The National Environment Noise Standards and Control Regulations 2003 stipulates that no person shall emit noise in excess of the permissible decibels until permitted. Susan Naung and Michael Bakabulindi reporting BBC TV.
Major Emma Kutesa, an official from the State House, has called on ghetto youths to avoid begging and instead focus on hard work as a means of survival and self-reliance. He made these remarks while visiting the youth in Gatwe to assess the progress that they've made using funds provided to them by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
During the visit, ghetto youths from the Machindia division gathered at Katwe Stadium to meet Major Emmanuel Kutesa, who offered guidance on how they could transform their lives. The event, organized by the local leadership led by Chairman Kalyango Shafiq and his council, was aimed at empowering the youth.
Kama wange Major Kutesa nga mutandika nga mutuletera programu eno banji bagizoleya kyekituufu nga bagamba ebyo ebintu bya kifere abo bagenda baba tubadde tukyali mu kago bate bagenda kubanga balabayo naye ebintu bingi byakyuka era mwatulaga omusana. Ghetto structures etambulira ku miramu esatu. Ogusooka gwa nkulaakulana.
Kalyango Shafiq confirmed that the funds sent by the president had reached their community and many youth had successfully utilized the money to grow their activities. He emphasized that the support from the president had improved their lives and they remain committed to supporting his initiatives. The youths expressed their gratitude, stating that they no longer see themselves as marginalized and are moving away from illegal activities. They thanked Brigadier General Christopher Damulira and Major Emma Kutesa for their continued support in helping them find a new direction.
Ekyo kimwebaliza omukulembeze w'eggwanga era ssebo Major nkutuma buli w'omutuukako mugende nti buli obusajja busiima kuba ffe twasiima twawanika. Neebaza Brigadier General Damulira okuvaayo n'ayimirira mu maggwa mu bulumi mu bivumo mu bukyayi n'agamba abaana ba ghetto musooke mbaleke kuba tubiwulira eyo bangi batandise okuba nga balinnyirira erinnya lya General Damulira, erinnya lya Major Emma n'abalala abakutte ku baana ba ghetto.
Kalyango Shafiq added that the ghetto youths now have hope for their future, with many now earning an income.
He also noted that even those with incomplete identification documents are receiving assistance from NIRA through the local offices for registration. Major Emma Kutesa cautioned those who might criticize his efforts, stating that such actions would not distract him from his mission of serving the people. He encouraged the media to seek him out if they have any questions or concerns about his work before making judgments.
Kyembagamba nkitegeeza omukulembeze w'eggwanga bw'aba ali muzadde n'agamba waliwo ebifo ebituufu eby'abaana batakwatibwako kambakwateko mu ngeri eno muveeyo otulo ole.
He also warned the youths against relying on begging and urged them to continue working hard with the financial support provided by the president, which is meant to help them improve their lives and stay away from crime. Major Kutesa announced plans to enhance the boxing training ground in Katwe to promote talent among the youth. He encouraged the community to take advantage of various government self-development programs and urged the youth to steer clear of politics, reminding them that politicians might exploit their mistakes. The youths and local leaders raised several issues affecting their area and expressed their gratitude to Major Kutesa for visiting them and listening to their concerns.
Langa kuno nembudde buno omukisa gwe twafunako wano mu 2024 gali 14 wavaayo abakulu abaali bazze mu mbeera eyo tebaddamu kulabika naye kati nsuubira engeri kamanda gyozze gwe mwennyini ensongo jagitwala kubakusinako sobole okuba nti naffe tuva mu mbeera embi.
Akawunti omutoberako n'akawunti n'osevingayo essaawa no twakitegedde kuba sente ziyita mu bbanka bw'ogenda mu bbanka eyo mugenda ssangayo ebirungi bingi nnyo betasobola bagamba kati bebagenda okubagamba eri so kyembasaba mujje tukozese sente zino kuba zaffe bazituwadde nga kwekulaakulanya bannyabo ne bassebo
mufune ID tusobole okugasa eggwanga kubanga kyonna kyekiri obulu twagala tukuyira muzeeyi Museveni ebbanga lyetubadde mu ghetto nga tetumulonda nga twefuula abamwagala naye nga tetumwagala naye kati twagala tumulage nti naffe tuli b'amaanyi mu ghetto era weetuli kuba naye atulaze nti atubeereddewo.
The Archdiocese of Mbara Development Association is once again unifying and uniting to uplift their community. The Umbrella Association of Catholics from Ankole, residing and working in Kampala and nearby areas, AMD, is inspired by the teachings of Jesus Christ, particularly the message of abundant life found in John 10:10. Each year, AMD hosts a caravan to share both material gifts and knowledge aimed at enhancing the lives of those in need. This year, from September 6th to 8th, they journeyed to Ntungamo district, focusing on the Rushaka and Bwizibera parishes. Their outreach was also guided by 7 pillars: unity, special development, education, health and wellness, leadership development, environmental sustainability, and economic development. Through these efforts, AMDA aims to supplement government initiatives, fostering a healthier population and stimulating economic growth in the region.
The eyes of Jesus, and so we bring the good news of salvation, the good news of healing, the good news of joy to the people by representing Christ among his people. So all these activities we did because of the joy of the gospel, responding to the call of Christ to bring joy and healing to his people. So we thank all those who helped us, and we hope that the partners will continue to work with us to bring healing, to bring joy and development in our areas.
While it's government's role to provide services for its citizens, they cannot do it alone. And initiatives like the AMDA Caravan is just contributing in a very small way to these government efforts. I can tell you from our experience of previous medical camps in the caravans, which draw thousands of people. I told you we had 5,258 patients in Rushoka and with Vera. In Uganda last year we had over 9,000 people. There is dire need, especially for the specialist services. In almost every caravan, we are not able to meet the demand for cataract surgeries, for example. In Rushoka, we did 65 surgeries. In Uganda last year, we did 80 surgeries, but these clinics close at 8 p.m. and the next day they have to be reviewed. And we call upon Ugandans, whether you are a Rotarian or an ordinary Christian or part of any other group, to support these efforts, because yes, the government will have these specialists in referral centers, but then the access to referral center is also an issue. If you are in Ntungamo, yes, you have a Tojo Hospital. Rushoka is a health center for you have Kawali next door, but not many people may access this. So we must work together, and this cuts across even education. Yes, the government is recruiting teachers, but how many teachers we have in this country? So how can we ensure that in our local areas, if I can make a contribution to supplement government's efforts, then I'm able to do that. And we encourage many groups. It doesn't have to be Amda Caravan, no. Amda Caravan is just showing in a small way that as people from this area would want to go back, would want to share the gifts that God has given us, the resources God has given us, to help make a difference in the lives of some few people.
I wish these initiatives could actually be rolled out in the whole of the country through these religious centers, because this is, I call it religious, although their services go beyond religion, because in treating, they treat each and every person despite their religious background. So how I wish it could spread to other dioceses in other parts of the country, because the impact they leave on the ground is imaginable. It is just too much, and you know, they go down to the grassroots, and they have all sorts of professionals.
Still with more news in the week, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, in partnership with Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers and Uganda Manufacturers Associations, have honoured and recognised manufacturing entities that have consistently put in place measures to continuously promote the safety and health of their employees and the general public by awarding the best in different categories. Honourable Dominic Mafabi, the Minister of State for Elderly, said that this program will not only contribute towards improving occupational health and safety across the board, but it will provide a platform for workplaces participating in the program to market themselves or their products or services to clients.
Some project enhancing engineering safety for Uganda's manufacturing sector. 2. As a ministry, we are proud to have been partners, and we extend sincere thanks to the Royal Academy of Engineering UK for the grant given through Engineering X, with the objective of funding high-impact innovative projects to develop domestic engineering capacity, build, operate, and maintain critical engineering infrastructure safety for less developed, low, middle, and upper middle income countries across the world. 3. SM project addressed improved safe and innovative engineering, reduced accident, incidents, and fatalities often attributed to poor engineering designs, construction, and maintenance. The aim was to contribute to safer working practices and a more employable workforce, including new graduates through training, skilling, and education interventions. 4. Since inception in 2022.
I'm Engineer Bosco Lepi, the President of the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers. Today we had an award ceremony recognizing industries that have excelled in occupational health and safety at workplace. We had interest in this particular aspect because over 7,000 members of the institution do work in these different workplaces. So we want to ensure that they are safe wherever they are. So that's why we had
participation in these awards has been very instrumental, because we have helped in training over 200 companies, which is now contributing greatly to the safety in the organizations and the companies, which is very important in manufacturing, and collaboration with the Uganda Institute of Professional Engineers has really created a bond that we are going to see a lot of collaboration going forward. So,
Plascon, paint and win. This year, Plascon, paint and win. The cuckoo roundy. Chicho, buy paint worth 100K. Get a scratch card. SMS the code to 7197. Stand a chance to win instant airtime, 1 million shillings bully day there, or a share of a 3 million shillings jackpot each week. What do you want the brand new podas, tuk-tuks, and so much more? Catch the paint and win action every Monday on Bukede One, NBS, and Sanyuka TV. Plascon, color your world.
Winning requires the stamina of a lion. But most important today, it requires that you carry that water up the top of the hill. However, you must use a spoon. Take the water now. Go, run, climb up the hill. 72 spoons. Faster, go, go. Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Thank you so much for still watching UBC Weekend Edition. With the increase in the housing, real estate businesses, construction and mushrooming of buildings continue. This is a campaign with painting to bring out the true nature of property. The leading players in the painting industry are in arms to professionalize the business. Apart from streamlining the trade, they're rewarding customers. Plascon Uganda, the leading painting company, is giving back to its customers through the Paint and Win promotion. The campaign is now in its third week.
I'm really excited about this many gifts that Plascon has given me. I participated in the Plascon Paint and Win draw that is happening, and here I am. I've gotten 1 million. Then the motorbike, as you can see. So I feel really excited, and I'm so thankful to Plascon.
I'm really humbled and happy. I bought paint from Hardware World worth 643, but I've managed to win 1.6 million, and I really feel good about that. Today is my daughter's visitation day. She likes pizza, and indeed I'm going to buy her 2 of them. I'm sure she'll be very happy.
I feel very honored and appreciative to the Plascon for what he has done to me. Yeah, I didn't expect it, but now it is what it is. And this money is going to help me invest more into my painting business, like buying machines to ease my work.
Bannange bino byaddala mpulira essanyu ly'amaanyi okulaba nti nfunye zino ssente zigenda kunkolera ekyamaanyi. Bannange mpulira essanyu ly'amaanyi era mubeewo, kubanga essanyu lye mpulira simanyi nazze n'emitima ebiri kati nzizeeyo n'omutima gumu. Mpulira essanyu era mubeewo era tujja kweyongera obbawagira.
A young company, BuildNet, is redefining the hospitality and real estate landscape with an innovative approach that rivals established markets like Dubai. Founded over 15 years ago, BuildNet has emerged as a beacon of hope for investors and renters alike, highlighting that business transcends mere profit. It is about addressing community challenges and fostering sustainable growth.
This one-of-its-kind investment is designed around fully furnished, fully serviced, and fully managed hotel apartments.
BuildNet's latest initiative, the 8th-floor waterfront hotel apartments in Munyonyo, will exemplify its commitment to high-risk, high-reward business models. Dr. Isaac is putting together 49 investors to build a high-class short-term rental hotel apartment.
It comes with 8.5% guaranteed return on investment. Then it is hassle-free. You don't have to do anything on it. You just have to wait for money to come to your account every month.
The rise of platforms like Airbnb has transformed Uganda's hospitality and real estate sector, contributing into rental income.
Condominium ownership is a unique type of joint ownership of property, yet to be fully understood in Uganda. It brings with it unique requirements of issues related to governance, maintenance, and the management of shared spaces. It is therefore crucial that as we proceed to launch another condominium project, that all players understand and comply to the obligations under the law to ensure harmonious living.
We have partnered with the best-in-class architects, contractors, engineers, and project managers based from South Africa, and they are going to deliver this project to the highest quality desired and within the specified timelines.
So again, these structures have to be properly designed, because if they're not...
Wadulo Makanol for UBC News at the Sheraton, Kampala.
From the sports desk, Kampala International University's inter-faculty sports competition has finished its penultimate day with tight contests in all the 10 disciplines. Take a look.
After 3 days of action in the Kampala International University Interfaculty Sports Competition, the curtain will finally fall this Sunday.
And the reason why we organize this sport, obviously it's point number one is to unite them together, to develop their talents which are hidden. When you bring them together, sometimes you identify these talents. Now that we are preparing for East Africa University Games come December, this is the time we are identifying the best athletes who can participate for us. There are those ones who have been there in class and they thought maybe it's only the class which can be enough. But we have identified many who have got potential talents.
The tournament is for 7 teams organized in faculties, and these include College of Education and Long Distance, College of Humanities and Social Sciences, School of Natural and Applied Sciences, and School of Mathematics and Computing.
Sports has helped KIU, where marketing is, of course, done in this area, both locally and internationally, where we have different games being played.
The contest is in 10 sports disciplines, including volleyball, basketball, football, woodball, table tennis, lawn tennis, and chess.
The competition is indeed tight. There are top players that I appreciate the organization and the organizing committee at large. Thanks for the work well done.
Chess improves my thinking capacity. So the more you play chess, the more you build up something in your brain. Your thinking capacity changes. You be having a different reasoning capacity.
And that brings us to the end of the UBC Weekend Edition today on the 20th of October 2024. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. Have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.
Mbabazi kyamukongwire owabeshongoye rukunde gumeho nkokwe mpara ejiririho owakigambire naiza kuchehaka
Mbabazi kyamukongwire yakuletera concert y'omwaka rugogoma rukunde gumeho family day out concert.